please direct your attention to your listening device for the show that believes there is no such thing as useless sports knowledge. This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I'm your host, Marcus, and this is episode 357, and it will feature the team of David Lux and assistant coach on our Patreon team, Jerry Filbin, versus Josh Snyder and equipment manager on our Patreon team, Hugh Gitlin. Welcome back, Jerry and Hugh. I know we know you very well, but welcome back anyways. So let's start with David and Jerry. Why don't you let me and us know how you're doing, and then give us your team name.
Well, I'm doing all right, other than allergies that decided to kick in late this season. Usually it's spring, early spring, but it's been messing with me all this week. But other than that, doing good. Yeah, just started training for a new job for the post office.
Ooh, nice.
It's cool.
Yeah, allergies are no joke. I was told I would grow out of them, and I am now a 37-year-old man, and I still have terrible allergies, so I feel you there.
When I lived in West Virginia and Indiana, never had them. Moved to South Carolina when I was in middle school, and they get me every year.
Ugh. It's the worst. I really can't stand it.
Let me tell you, as the old guy, you don't outgrow them. It's not a thing.
Yeah, I was lied to several times.
Yeah.
All right, David, how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be pairing with Jerry for the first time, and we decided, since Jerry's from South Carolina and I'm from North Carolina, we a bit of a play on words tonight. Our team name is going to be the Carolina Reapers.
All right, Carolina Reapers. That could be interpreted many ways, as the Hurricanes are currently playing a hockey game. And yeah, this will come out later, so you'll know what happened.
Good thing I'm not that Hurricane fan.
Okay, let's go over to Josh and Hugh. Let me know how you guys are doing and what your team name is.
Yeah, I'm doing great. The Twins are mediocre, but so is the whole American League. So there's hope. And the Wild and Wolves are done. Very disappointingly, their last games. We're just looking forward to the Vikings starting up in July. And I'm going on my bike trip coming up. By the time this airs, I will have ridden my 150 miles in southeastern Minnesota.
Nice.
On the page, there's a thing to sponsor me, so I could still collect money until like the middle of August. So sponsor me. Thanks.
Yes, it is on the bench page. Sponsor Hugh. 150 miles is insane, and I can't wait. I can't wait for you to do it. I'll be breathing heavy over here doing absolutely nothing. So, all right. Josh Snyder, what's up, man?
Doing all right, Marcus. It's been a minute. Yeah, just was at a choral concert tonight and was thinking, what could liven something like this up? We need to bring in stuff from like sports stadiums into like middle school and elementary school choral concerts. There should be people hawking like cotton candy up and down the rows. They should have like a pitch pipe race that everybody should bet on in the middle of it.
That would have been great, because I was at my daughter's strings concert tonight. So
yeah, right. There's somebody be like, who wants to, if you can bet on, what the tone is going to be for that kid's going to sing for the solo and who's going to, crack their voice in the middle of it all. But it was great. It was wonderful. And, obviously everybody was very, very good listening and all of that. But going back to the allergies here, taking us back to, the kinds of things that we might have. Hugh and I are celebrating a Jewish holiday tonight, maybe not the most well-known, but Shavuot or Pentecost. And one of the traditions is to eat a lot of dairy. And for a people that is known to be lactose intolerant, it's like a celebration that comes with, it comes with some problems on the other end. So let's just say we're going to be lactose tolerant for the night.
All right.
That was a long way to go, Josh. I just got to say.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. Well, we got our teams lactose tolerant for the night and Carolina Reapers. And before we get into the game, let's kick it over to Dan for the rules.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with a different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them to you as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
Okay, so a peek behind the curtain. I was not supposed to host tonight, but I'm stepping in, and I thank you. Thank you to Dave Wirtz for this is a Marcus Dave combo. So we've joined forces to create this game for you guys tonight. So shout out Dave, and your first quarter will be pre and post game.
Pre and post game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I asked, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, the answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
All right. Question 1 in pre and post game. A former Utah Jazz center who became the first Turkish basketball player to win an NBA championship in 2004, and the NFL quarterback that is the only player in league history to throw for at least 450 yards in a single game with 3 different franchises.
All right, we'll check in.
Okay, Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose tolerant for the night. You guys can talk it out.
Lactose is getting to me already.
Enos Cantor was a center, so
He was, but I'm not sure that he was around that early.
I don't think Turkoglu was Turkoglu a center?
But does it say center?
I said center, right?
Oh, you're right. It does say center. Right. You're right. Turkoglu, not a center. That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been somebody else, but I'm just thinking of 2004. I mean, obviously didn't win a championship with the Jazz. I've never won a championship. So 2004 is late. No. Pistons?
2004 was Pistons
I think it's the Pistons, right?
because they beat the Lakers. Because I know the Timberwolves were in the Western Conference Finals. That was the last year of the Garnett Finals or
Yeah.
playoff run.
It's not popping up to me who it would be from that. Inez Cantor's too early. And just thinking about who. The only thing I can think about as a player who played for 3 teams and might have thrown for 450 for all of them is like Warren Moon.
Warren, okay. So something war.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get it here, Hugh, unless you have something on this one. I hate to let you down on question number 1.
Is there a war? Let's see.
Let's make up a Turkish basketball player whose last name ends in war. Mano War, Mano Warren Moon. Why not? Let's just go with that. It was named after the famous horse or jellyfish or
Turkish
whatever.
horse center.
Okay, man of Warren Moon. Carolina Reapers, what did you guys have?
So when it first came out, we sat there thinking I could picture the center, but I couldn't come up with the name. And then David came out with Mehmet Okur. So then we were trying to get the second part, and I'll let David finish it off with his thoughts because he came up with the second part.
Yeah, my first thought was Kurt Warner, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. There are 3 teams, and then I was just throwing out names that sounded like they began with Kerr. I said Kirk. Jerry said Kirk Cousins, and I was like, yeah, of course. So it's Mehmet Kirk Cousins.
One team is receiving points. The correct answer is not Mano Warren Moon.
But it should be.
It is Mehmet O'Kirk Cousins.
Wrong Viking.
Yes. So Kirk, I mean, I didn't write this question, but we could have made it easier by talking about elite bag getter Kirk Cousins, the bag getter of all bag getters. So yes, he has a 450-yard game with Washington, with Minnesota, and he actually has the franchise record now in a game for Atlanta. He threw for 509 yards in that game. So And then Mehmet Okur, aka the Money Man. I loved that about. I love Mehmet Okur. He's one of those guys. All star in 2007. He was just solid. He was solid after he came over to the Jazz after the Pistons let him walk after they won the championship. So yeah, and he is now coaching, which also coincidentally makes him the first Turkish assistant coach in
Oh,
NBA history. So there you go. All right, let's move on to question 2 in pre and post game. Following the trade of Ray Allen to the Seattle Supersonics, this player became an All-Star in 2004, taking over as the foundational piece for the Milwaukee Bucks, and the legendary NBA head coach who won 9 championships with the Boston Celtics, including 8 consecutive titles from 1959 to 1966.
We can check in.
All right. Lactose Tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you guys can talk it out.
We were just about to lock into. We had enough time to send it to each other, but I got it from the coach perspective first, and then it helped me get the Bucks part of it. The coach is definitely Red Auerbach, and so that turns it around to, one of the most famous Reds and Michael Red. So Michael Red Auerbach.
All right. And Lactose Tolerant for the night, what did you guys have?
Yeah, Ohio State legend Michael Red Auerbach.
Both teams are receiving points. The correct answer is Michael Red Auerbach. I didn't write this, and it was Know Your Host for me because obviously the Ray Allen trade was massive as a Sonics fan because he led us into another era of success. And I loved Michael Red. He's to me like he's a poster child for the Hall of Very Good in NBA terms.
I totally agree.
Underrated for sure. And who knows? He's with the NBA being to me the most lenient Hall of Fame. Who knows? Maybe if he had 2 more All Stars, he might have gotten in. But great player. And what can you say about Red Auerbach?
I can say that he's probably a cheesecake on Shavuot. That's important.
With a cigar.
With a cigar, right? With cigars in
Yeah.
their hand. Yes.
No kidding.
Maybe a couple blintzes.
Great job, both teams. All right, let's move on to question 3. A former New Mexico Lobo star that was selected with the 17th overall pick by the Pacers in the 2005 NBA draft, and Chicago White Sox outfielder who was the 2005 World Series MVP.
We'll check in.
All right, Carolina Reapers has checked in. Lactose Tolerant for the night. Sounds like you were right there, but you can talk it out if you need to.
I feel like the back half of this I get from Eads constant talking about the Chicago White Sox and Jermaine Dye, which comes back all the time, which just brought me back to Danny Granger. So we went with Danny Granger, Jermaine Dye.
And Carolina Reapers, what did you guys have?
Well, being a Pacers fan, I mean, Danny Granger popped into my mind immediately when you talk about that time frame. And then I'm a Cubs fan, but White Sox, I mean, rivalry, Jermaine Dye. I mean, he was a star for them, so we locked in with Danny Granger, main Dye again as well.
See, you couldn't say it either. So
in my head, it sounded right.
Right, exactly. They always sound good in your head. Yep.
Both teams are receiving points. The correct answer is Danny Granger, main Dye. I am not a Pacers fan. However, I am a fan of jerseys. I have an extensive jersey collection, and I actually have 2 Pacers jerseys. One of them is the Rifleman Chuck Person, and the other one is an ABA throwback of Danny Granger. I'm fairly certain it's the first jersey I bought at my job, which was at a store that sold jerseys. I spent a nice chunk of my small paycheck on a Danny Granger ABA throwback. So
I hated when they got rid of him because I mean he led them for so long, and then in came Paul George.
Yeah, and his body just broke down. He's another one that I thought was kind of on a path to being a superstar and just never quite got there. Brandon Roy-esque in that they were really good for a real small window, and then their bodies just kind of gave out.
Yep.
All right, let's head to the final question in pre and post game. A pass rusher who spent the first 7 years of his NFL career in Green Bay before being traded to the Dallas Cowboys ahead of the 2025 season, and a Cleveland Browns tight end who won the Pro Football Writers Most Improved Player of the Year award in 2015 after catching 79 passes for 1,043 yards.
We'll check it in.
All right. Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose tolerant for the night. You guys can talk it out. You got about a minute.
All right, we'll try and be entertaining here because I'm not sure we have a whole lot. I don't remember the name. It's defensive end or defensive tackle, right? Hugh, who came back in the Michael Parsons.
Yeah,
Parsons
there was
trade.
a defensive lineman that came back.
Yeah, and it was like I remember Ed being like, "Whoa, this guy, hey, whatever."
Eads Andrew Dice Clay. He's like, oh,
Hey, yo. The only guy I can think of that sort of maybe fits that timeline on the other end is David Njoku. Is that possible? And could this guy's name have ended in like Day or something like that? Holiday.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, the only guy who's coming to mind for some reason, I know it's not him, is Demarion Overshawn, who I know like was out for the entire year with like an ACL. Unless you got anything, I'm going to go with Emmanuel Mudiay Vidinjoku.
That sounds good.
It's not who it is, but whatever.
that sounds fun.
what do we got, guys? Is that what you're checking in with?
Yeah, it's what someone's checking in with. It's not
Okay. Carolina Reapers, what did you guys have?
We're not that creative, so I'm hoping we have the right answer. So we all read it wrong and thought it said Dallas to Green Bay because I think we wanted it to be that. But then we realized it was Green Bay to Dallas. I remembered it was Rashawn Gary. And then I was like, it's Gary something. And I know he played for the Panthers before he played for the Browns. And that's why I was struggling. And
Josh Njoku was later on.
right.
I had Njoku and I had Winslow because I knew they were both Miami guys who went to Cleveland, but I knew the tight end was between them.
Yeah, he had that's why I was saying Jerry was like splitting the goalpost trying to like think of which tight end to plunk in there. And so when I said Rashawn Gary, he said, it's Gary Barnes something. And then finally Jerry came up with the whole thing. So it was Rashawn Gary Barnridge.
Ooh. Okay, sorry. I'm paying Bomb back. I don't care.
One team is receiving points, and I'm a generous host because I could be a stickler, but I'm not going to because you had it. The correct answer is Rashawn Gary Barnage. No extra R. But you had it. You had it.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's talk about this. So Rashawn Gary is a good football player. I know Ead's like it doesn't match what we gave up. Well, obviously it's Micah Parsons, but I think Rashawn Gary is a nice player. But Gary Barnage, these are his catch totals leading up to that season. 2008 played in 15 games, no catches. 2009 played 16 games, 12 catches. 2011 was injured. 2012, 6 catches. 2013, he had 13 catches. 2014, he had 13 catches. And then in 2015, 79 for 1,043 and 9 touchdowns out of absolute nowhere. And then he played the next year, 55 catches for 612 yards. And the Browns released him after the season because he had sports hernia surgery. And that was it for his career. So he just had those 2 random years of being pretty good, and that's it. At the end of the first quarter, we have Lactose Tolerant for the night with 50 points, and we have the Carolina Reapers with 100 points.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
And your second quarter will be David versus Goliath.
David and Goliath. This quarter will consist of 3 pairs of questions, one easier, David, and the other harder, Goliath. After hearing both questions, each team will pick one of the 2 questions to answer. Each David question is worth 25 points, and each Goliath question is worth 50 points.
All right. Welcome to David versus Goliath in the second quarter, and I'm going to get specific in this. Hopefully to help you guys focus on what you need to focus on. This David and Goliath very specifically, is group of 5 or group of 4, basically power 4/power 5 teams, because obviously the eras don't match up. So these are non-power conference offensive players of the year in football. Everybody got me?
For that conference, for that specific
Yes.
conference.
For that
All right,
specific conference.
so we're going to get the conference in the year?
Absolutely not, David. Or you're going to get the conference.
Okay.
Actually, you're right. What am I talking about? Yes, I don't know why I said that. I think I was just trying to be defiant. You absolutely are going to get the year and the conference.
Really?
Okay.
And some filler in there to help you on your way. It's David versus Goliath. I'm going to give you an easy answer that you should know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a real tough one.
Okay.
Everybody good?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. Question 1 in David versus Goliath. David, who was the back-to-back MAC Player of the Year in 2001 and 2002 while passing for almost 12,000 yards and 89 touchdowns? He was selected 7th overall in 2003, and since retirement has been an NFL coach, including being an OC for an NFL team from 2019 to 2022. Question 1, Goliath. Who is the MAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2006? He rushed for over 5,000 yards and 52 touchdowns in just 3 seasons, including 1,976 yards and 8 touchdowns in his final season. He was drafted in the 3rd round in the 2007 draft, but never had more than 31 carries in a single season and was out of the league by 2010.
Hugh, are you good with checking in as we are?
Yeah, no, let's just, yeah.
All right. We're going to check in, Marcus.
Okay. Lactose Tolerant for the Night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you got about a minute-ish to talk it out.
All right. So we're giving up on Goliath. I'm going to make an executive decision, right?
Okay.
Yes.
You agree, Jerry?
Okay.
So we think that we were kicking around who's in the MAC. Go ahead, Jerry.
I couldn't believe I didn't think of who you said because I was born in that state.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yes,
So I
and-
threw out Byron Leftwich because everything makes sense in terms of he was an assistant and all of that stuff. And we know for sure he went to Marshall. And then we were just trying to remember whether Marshall was in the MAC.
I think they were for a brief period before they went to Conference USA.
Well, then the rest of that makes sense. I mean, he was picked by the Jaguars. It would have been around pick 7 because they were not the worst team in the league. So I think
And they were
that would make
playing
sense.
like somebody like Toledo or Kent State or something in that 7 overtime.
And went into 14 million overtimes. Yes. So I think Byron Leftwich is the David. Can we just throw in the towel on
Yes.
wrong kind of round style here, but can we just throw in the towel on the Goliath and just
I'm good with it.
okay. All right, we're gonna check in with Byron Leftwich for the David.
Okay, and Lactose Tolerant for the Night, you guys tell me what you guys came up with.
Yeah, I think it was ECU that they were playing in that game, and I'm pretty sure it was against David
Yes,
Garrard,
that's it.
who would succeed him as the Jaguars quarterback. But we also checked in with Byron Leftwich. We could not think of the running back. We thought maybe it was a Northern Illinois guy, and it sort of sparked something for me, but we couldn't get there. So
Yeah.
enlighten us, Marcus.
All right. Both teams are receiving points. For the David, the correct answer is Byron Leftwich. Most famously, that last year was him getting carried down the field in that game where he broke his fibula and miraculously. What's crazy is I guess they still lost that game, I think.
That was I love that highlight, by the way.
But
when
yeah,
they just-
it's amazing. And he was a solid player. He wasn't great, but he was solid.
Yeah.
And for context, Marshall was in the MAC from 1954 to 1968, and then again from 1997 to 2004.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just that part of it. And Hugh, you were on it. You said NIU, and I went, oh, because it absolutely is Northern Illinois.
Yep.
He wore number 1. He had a blacked out visor. I can see it so vividly. He was nasty. And then he got drafted by the Chicago Bears. Does that help anybody?
Yeah,
Yes.
The correct answer is Garrett Wolf.
Wolf.
Oh,
I remember him.
Jerry
Garrett-
Kill guy.
Yeah, Garrett Wolf.
That's how I remember. Jerry Kill always had these running backs.
Yeah, 3 seasons, 1,656 yards, 1,580 yards, 19 176 yards, 18 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns, 18 touchdowns. Yeah, he was incredibly productive, including his last year there. What really kind of I think pushed him to go into the draft is I remember this. They got stomped by Ohio State, number one team in the country, but Garrett Wolf had 171 rushing and 114 receiving against them, and I think that was kind of the big tipping point for him. So, great job both teams. That was question one. Get ready for
This was
more.
Throw in the towel. We probably would have threw in the towel.
I think he was the running back for Northern Illinois when they came up to the Metrodome and beat Minnesota in one of the Brewster seasons.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he was.
Holy crow.
Okay. Get ready for more. Brain breaking, I hope. Question 2 in David versus Goliath. David, who was the WAC Offensive Player of the Year in 1999 and 2000? The future NFL Hall of Famer ran for over 2,000 yards in his senior season, and during his junior season, set a then NCAA record for rushing yards in a single game. He would go on to be the 5th overall pick in 2001. Question 2, Goliath. Who was the WAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2002? He rushed for 1,611 yards and scored 32 total touchdowns his senior year, becoming the third player at the time to eclipse 30 scrimmage touchdowns in a season, joining Barry Sanders and Troy Edwards. He was a 6th-round pick in the 2003 draft, and in his rookie year did have a 134-yard game with a touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals, but only lasted 2 seasons in the league.
Okay, we're going to check in.
All right. The Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose tolerant for a night. You guys can talk it out. You got about a minute-ish.
So, Hugh, you think other schools that might have been in the WAC?
The only 2 schools that really ran like that back then were Boise State and San Diego State, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Fresno State.
The pro part is not clicking with me. I'm trying to think if it was against Arizona. I mean, it could be any team, right? But if it was an NFC West team, do they play for the Seahawks or the Niners? Yeah. Boise State is kind of clicking a question for me. I mean, it's too early for obviously LeGarrette Blount, who's a well-known player. But,
yeah.
Like, is this around the era of that crazy Statue of Liberty play where the guy?
No, because Johnson ended up at Minnesota. He wasn't drafted. He ended up at Minnesota with the Vikings.
Yep, that's the guy I was thinking of. Okay, all right. So I think we should go with our David here, which is LaDainian Tomlinson. Was TCU in the WAC? Then I mean, I think based on the rest of it, Hall of Famer, I'd have to go that way. So we're gonna check in with LaDainian Tomlinson for the David.
Okay, and Carolina Reapers, what did you guys have?
Yeah, we got really quickly to LaDainian Tomlinson, and then we're just beating our heads against the wall trying to.
It's crazy how you guys had almost the same conversation.
Yeah, because we literally crossed wires and said, was it the guy who proposed to his girlfriend right after the Boise State game? And I was like, no. But then I'm pretty sure it's this guy from Boise State, and I kept saying to Jerry, it's Brock something, and then I was like, I think it's Brock Fosse. But then I was like, that's not it, but it's something really, really close to that. But anyway, we checked in with LaDainian Tomlinson.
Both teams are receiving points for the David. The correct answer is LaDainian Tomlinson, 406 yards against UTEP. Anybody remember who broke it? Because it pissed me off.
Samaje Perine?
Correct. Samaje Perine broke it at Oklahoma. Can't remember who they were playing. But David Lux, that is disgusting how close you are.
Oh, no. What was it? Tell me what it is.
Don't tell him that.
The correct answer for the Goliath is Brock Forsey.
I was
One letter.
I had this guy. I shoot.
We were gonna bet Brock Threesy.
He was a white guy running back. Like I said, so Anthony Thomas. So his 134-yard game, Anthony Thomas had pneumonia, and he got one start, 27 carries, 134 yards, and a touchdown. And then he filled that role. Then the next year, he just didn't make the team. I think that was when they drafted Cedric Benson, I think. think it was right after that. Either way, they end up cutting him, and then he just never makes it back. Or he made the team for Miami for a little bit, got cut, tried out for the next year, and just didn't make it. So 2 seasons with a 100-yard game to his name and never made it back. Oh man, I can't believe you when you were like, we were talking about Brock Fosse, and I was like, oh my god, he has no clue how close he really was.
I could feel it, Marcus. I could feel that I was that close, and I just couldn't come up
Look
with
out
it.
for the Broadway musical Forsey.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Coming to a theater near you.
We're gonna make an American version of Shorzy with American football, and it's gonna be called Forzy.
And by the way, Josh, LeGarrette Blount didn't go to Boise State. He went to Oregon, and he sucker punched a kid from
right.
Boise State.
Yeah.
So
He sure did.
You're on the wrong side of that.
He sure did.
Yeah.
And you know what? I haven't said this a lot. I side with an Oregon guy. I think LeGarrette Blount was justified. Because if it was me right after a game and somebody laughed in my face and like shoved me in my chest, I probably would have punched him too. I don't blame him.
Fair
Anyways.
enough. Fair enough.
All right. We're almost there, boys. Last one in David v. Goliath. David, who was the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year in 2009 and 2011? He became the NCAA's all-time leader in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and completions during his collegiate career. Some say it was a miracle that after going undrafted, he is currently enjoying a long NFL career with 8 different teams. Question 3, Goliath. Who is the inaugural Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year in 2008? He passed for over 4,100 yards in his senior season, along with 56 total touchdowns. He is one half of the most prolific QB wide receiver tandem in NCAA history, with 51 touchdowns between them. He went undrafted in 2009 and never caught on in the NFL. His best on-field accomplishment is a UFL championship in 2010 with the Las Vegas Locomotives, where he took home MVP honors. For context, everybody, the Conference USA did not award Conference Players of the Year. It was established in 95, but they didn't actually give out awards until 2008.
Fair enough. We're going to check in.
Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose tolerant for the night. You got a little bit of time to talk it out. Like a little bit.
Argue our philosophy of trying here. So we're pretty sure that our David is Case Keenum. Thank you for the miracle. Clue, which obviously Hugh caught on to. We're just trying to think of other teams that were in that conference at that time. We went through ECU, Rice, UCF, Memphis, and we thought maybe Louisville was in the conference. And like right stuck in our head right now is Brian Brom. Like, did he end up? I don't remember him making it to the pros. Obviously, he's coaching now. Right? Are there 2 Broms? I feel like there's 2 different guys, and I get them confused all the time. He's the one he coached at Purdue and then moved over to Louisville, right?
He's coach at Louisville
right now.
Purdue.
Where did he play in college? At Louisville or at Purdue?
I played at Louisville. I may have played at both.
I really don't remember. I'm not feeling there's the confident enough to go with him. I feel like his name is too well known. I'm gonna say let's go with Case Keenum here for the David.
Yep.
Okay. Live to fight another day.
Case Keenum, who delayed a show I was in because the whole cast was up at the bar watching the game before the show.
That's amazing. And Carolina Reapers, what did you guys check in with?
Well, as my old friend Dan Lemberg used to say, well, let me take you on a quick journey here. So we got to the David pretty quickly, and then I said to Jerry, there's this guy from Rice, and I can picture him, and I'm not sure if I could picture him or if I've just looked this kind of stuff up at some point. And I said to Jerry, give me the whitest names you could come up with. And he started going John Smith, Paul Smith, Lucky Smith. And I said, not boring. And then he got to Lucky Johnson. I said, no, it's Chase something. And then he said Clemens. And then I was like, wait, you're almost there. And then he said Clement. And I said, that's absolutely it. It's Chase Clement, Rice quarterback. So that's what we checked in for our Goliath. Take that, Marcus.
Both teams are receiving points, and we did get a Goliath answer.
Nice.
The correct answer for David is, in fact, Case Keenum. Yeah, I threw in the miracle clue. I mean, for me, it's always he's the all-time leading passer in NCAA history. It's not particularly close because he started so many games for so long for Houston. And yes, does anybody remember the other half of the quarter of his wide receiver that they have the record for most touchdown passes between a pair? Anybody?
Hang on.
And that's
Dillard?
why, David, I thought you might have heard the name before on this podcast.
I think that's why. It's Dillard, maybe? Jarrett Dillard?
Jarrett Dillard is the receiver. And yes, I played with this Rice team on NCAA football so much. Everybody's like, why? I don't understand. And I'd be smashing my friends. They'd be Ohio State. And I'd be playing with Chase Clement and Jarrett Dillard on Rice. And yeah, so I'm glad we got one Goliath.
Me
but
too.
I had to do this because I was like, you know what? There's too many times it's like, oh, I know the Goliath. Yeah, I had to get crazy with this one. So great job.
You guys were on that like white on rice.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys took your points because once you started talking about Louisville. So there are two Brohms. There's Brian Brohm, who played quarterback at Louisville, and then there's Jeff Brohm, who's the coach.
At Purdue. Yeah.
The coach at Purdue. And like I think they have to be related. Yeah, okay. Brian Brohm is his younger brother.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
Jeff Brom's the older brother. Okay.
That makes sense.
After the second quarter, Lactose Tolerant for the night has 125 points, and the Carolina Reapers have 200 points. And that will bring us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions, with each question worth 25 points.
So, it's a halftime of a Marcus hosted game. So I get to be a nerd now that it doesn't have to be sports adjacent at all. And we're going to do some more superhero stuff. But what I've done tonight is I am going to name you 2 actors who have portrayed the same, and I'll even throw you this bone, the same villain in different media. I say different media because could be live action, could be animated. I'm just going to give you 2 actors who have portrayed this character, and you just have to tell me the name of the character. Simple enough?
Fair enough. Bring it.
All right, here we go. Question 1 in halftime. Liam Neeson in 2005 and David Warner in animation from 1992 to 1995.
All right, we'll check in, Marcus.
Okay, Lactose Tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you guys can talk it out.
So if it's Liam Neeson in 2005, it's got to be from Batman Begins. What? And it wasn't one of the big ones, or at least not one of the, television campy comic book ones. It was. I don't think I'm going to pull it. I can't remember what his name is. I'm superheroes are not my area, but you got anything, Jerry?
I was waiting for Jerry to be like, "No, I'm not a dork."
I'm trying to think back to Batman Begins.
I can picture the name, but I can't. I wish I were Eid. It has an apostrophe. That's what I remember. I know that doesn't really help, but his name has an apostrophe in it.
Yeah, I don't think I will either.
All right, come up with a funny one.
Does Penguin have an apostrophe?
No. No, but you just landed
the penguin.
Be a title.
Yeah, you
DA apostrophe penguin.
Yeah,
penguin.
Yeah, and good job because you just got the
and
episode title.
And he's got waves or like a do-rag. The penguin.
That is awesome. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna check in with the penguin.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Lactose Tolerant. What did you guys have?
Well, Liam Neeson. I mean, whenever you bring Liam Neeson, I gotta go to the Key and Peele sketch with Liam's Neeson's. Remember that movie with Liam's Neeson was in that movie?
Neeson's.
And he was. First of all, the first thing I thought of him as a superhero movie is Dark Man. Was that one where he was like keeps changing faces?
Dark Horse Comics, I think,
right?
Or maybe Image. I can't remember.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily call that a villain, but 2005 is Batman Begins, and I believe the name of the villain is Ra's al Ghul. So that's what we're checking in with there.
Oh, that doesn't have an apostrophe.
Head of the League of Assassins.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
One team is receiving points.
Yes, the penguin.
The correct answer is Ra's, or depending on what media you're looking at, some people say Ra's al Ghul. It's It's Ra's al Ghul, and it does have an apostrophe, David. You're right. It's RA'SALGHUL. Ra's al Ghul, who's somewhat immortal in the comics, but of course Christopher Nolan had to on everyone's parade and say, "Oh, it needs to be based on realism." It's a comic book movie, you dork.
Yeah, he bathes in this thing to keep his immortality, this pool,
Correct. And it makes him slowly more insane every time he brings himself back. So, anyways, that was question 1. Question 2 in halftime. Colin Farrell in 2003 and Wilson Bethel currently.
We can check in, Marcus.
Yep.
Oh, boy. All right. Before I even sent it to the chat, Lactose Tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you could talk it out extensively.
Yeah, okay. I have a beat on this one, but I'm going to need help. Daredevil the movie. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner, I think Michael Clark Duncan, Jon Favreau maybe have been in that. That guy who was in everything then.
Bullseye?
Joe Panto. What's that?
Bullseye?
That's it. Thank you. Boom. We'll check that in. Thank you.
Okay, and Lactose Tolerant for the night, what did you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, awesome version of, I think Wilson Bethel's better. I mean, he's insane, just as a comic character. Colin Farrell, whatever, but link back to the Penguin, of course, and all that. So yeah, we also
the Penguin.
The Penguin.
The Penguin. That's
you put respect on Colin.
That's right.
Farrell's name.
That's Mr. De Penguin to you.
That's Mr. De Penguin.
The Penguin.
But this is Bullseye, who I think canonically, I don't even know if he has a name in the comics, but I think it's like Poindexter or something like that in the most recent Daredevil.
Both teams are receiving points. The correct answer is Bullseye. And yeah, the 2003 Daredevil movie, which I don't think is as bad as people want to make it out to be. Colin Farrell's portrayal is definitely weird and kind of over the top, and I think Wilson Bethel in the current version of Daredevil has done a great job. And it's just a cool thing, right? He can turn anything into a deadly weapon like projectile. The way he throws it, I think that's cool, and I thought they did a good job of it visually. But yeah, great job, both teams. Bullseye. All right, question 3 of halftime. Kevin Spacey in 2006 and Michael Rosenbaum from 2001 to 2011.
We'll check in.
Yeah.
Woo! Lactose Tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you guys can talk it out.
Can y'all slow down?
I honestly think this one's the most. Kevin Spacey in 2006, before he was persona non grata. That's right when he played Lex Luthor. I think this is the most famous comic book villain of all time. I think this is Lex Luthor.
Okay.
And I'm pretty positive. Is it all right to check that in?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll check in Lex Luthor.
Okay, and Lactose Tolerant for the night, what did you guys have?
Lex Luthor, Rosenbaum played him in Smallville.
Both teams are receiving points. The correct answer is Lex Luthor. I had a million names to choose from, so I thought I'd go Spacey first because I don't know how many people watch Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. It's not great, but I love Smallville, and I love Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor in Smallville. And it was like around 2020, we were all locked inside. Is the first time I discovered Michael Rosenbaum has a full head of hair because he was bald the entire series. And then I watched his podcast that he hosts, and I was like, holy shit, that guy has hair. What the hell? I'd never seen him with hair, so.
Yeah, him and Tom Welling do a very good podcast at Talkville where they go through every episode of Smallville.
That's news to me, so I can't wait to dig into that. All right, after halftime, we have a score of Lactose Tolerant for the night with 200 and Carolina Reapers with 250. And that will bring us to the third quarter, which is the missing link.
The missing link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. A correct guess to the theme before the 5th question will earn the first team 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with a correct theme guess. If neither team has identified the correct theme before the 5th question, both teams can still earn 50 points with a correct theme guess.
Okay, one more time, I'm going to shout out David Wirtz because this is the other quarter that he wrote, and I'm protecting myself in case you guys hate it, which I don't think you will because it's Dave. But I gotta be upfront with that just in case you guys want to kill me after this. All right. Question 1 in the missing link: who is the only golfer from either the United States or Europe to have won 2 different major golf championships, but never be selected to participate in the Ryder Cup?
Ooh, that's a crazy fact.
I'm good with that, Hugh. I think that.
We'll check in.
All right, Lactose Tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you guys can talk it out.
I don't hate that answer.
Yeah, I immediately said, could it be John Daly? Because it just seems like, I mean, I know he won 2 majors, and I can't remember him playing in the Ryder Cup. Not that I pay that much attention to golf, but he'd be the kind of guy that would be so crass they wouldn't want anywhere near the Ryder Cup.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to come up with anything better. Everybody I could think of that clearly won more than 2 majors, like the Tigers, the Scheffler, like all those guys. Just I can't. John Daly just seems like the right, like that.
Yeah.
That is like on brand.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, we'll check in John Daly.
Okay, and Lactose Tolerant for the night, what did you guys have?
We'll go with the greatest amateur ever. Won the U.S. Open, won the British Open. Couldn't play in the Ryder Cup because he's never professional. Bobby Jones.
Oh,
Good pull.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Now I have to do research again. I didn't write this. Never an official team member. Oh, see, that's tough.
but everywhere I look, it does say John Daly is the only eligible.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everywhere I look for John Daly, it says very explicitly he's the only man from either Europe or the United States to win 2 major golf championships but not be selected. One team is receiving points. The correct answer is John Daly. And we just did a bunch of research and talking about it. But yeah, John Daly, big shocker that nobody wanted him to be on the Ryder Cup team. He has 4 ex-wives. That's impressive.
So does my dad.
my dad's 3, so he's not quite John Daly or Mr. Philbin level. All right.
I can tell my dad he's got something in common with John Daly now.
What, that they never been on the Ryder Cup team?
Yeah.
For that too,
Yeah. You've got 2 things in common with John Daly.
And it's not because
right.
he won 2 majors.
All right. So your theme linked answer so far is John Daly. Question 2 in the missing link. Taking home the inaugural Larry Bird Trophy after a stellar Eastern Conference Finals matchup against the Miami Heat, which forward won the conference's first ever MVP award in 2022?
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, we'll check in.
Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose Tolerant for the night. You guys can talk it out.
Okay. Well, what team was this? The Celtics, Hugh? Was that the right year? Because I'm trying to just go back in time here.
I'm just going to go 20. Last year was Indiana. The year before was the Celtics.
The year before that was was that the Bucks? I'm getting these out of order. Who lost to Denver? It was Miami who lost to Denver, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the year before that, was that the Buck? No, 21.
No, the year before that was the year that I think that the Celtics lost to the Warriors in the finals.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the Warriors. Yeah, I think so. So it's kind of this current lineup ish, right? Like
Tatum, Brown.
No, Tatum's the guard. I mean, and
forward. Did it say forward?
It did say forward.
Okay.
This is like Al Horford.
I'm gonna jump in here.
Oh,
I talked about positionless basketball earlier.
Fair enough.
I guess I disagree with. They're interchangeable. That
great, cool
type of player.
Let's go back to Tatum then for a sec.
yeah.
All right. I think it's either Tatum or Jaylen Brown. I I think you want to go with Tatum. I think he's definitely more of a forward size player than Jaylen Brown. I think so.
Tatum's a little bigger.
Yeah, let's go with Jason Tatum. All right, we're gonna go with Jason Tatum.
Okay, and Carolina Reapers, what did you guys come up with?
Kind of the same train of thought. I threw out Giannis at first, but then I was like, no way, that's too late for Giannis. And then I got back to Boston and Jason Tatum. So that's what we locked in with, was Jason Tatum.
Both teams are receiving points. The correct answer is Jason Tatum. Yeah, I didn't want you guys to get hyper focused on that because, like, not that you would have settled on Al Horford, but like I was like, okay, think about the positionless basketball. It is what it is. I know why that was put in the question, but yeah. So both teams receiving points. So your theme linked answers are John Daly and Jason Tatum. All right, let's move on to question 3 in the missing link. Which pitcher and 3-time All-Star made his big league debut for San Francisco in 2005 at just 20 years old, and in 2012 threw the 22nd perfect game in MLB history, where he tied Sandy Koufax for the most strikeouts in a perfect game with 14?
Yeah, I don't think I have a lot here.
We don't have. Yeah.
All right, do you want to check in, you?
Yeah, we'll check in.
All right, lactose tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you guys can talk this out.
I'm pretty sure this is Matt Cain. He definitely threw a perfect game. That's about the right time and era for him. I don't specifically remember that he had. I know he's on the perfect game list. I don't specifically remember that he had 14 Ks or that he tied my friend Sandy Koufax. But it's definitely him.
Yeah, I forgot all about him.
Jerry, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we'll check in Matt Cain.
And we're just gonna fall further behind.
All right, and lactose tolerant for the night. What did you guys come up with?
Brandon Webb, but he was with the Arizona back then. So,
all right, one team is receiving points. The correct answer is Matt Cain. Yes, it was the 22nd perfect game in MLB history, tied Sandy Koufax for the most strikeouts in a perfect game. It was the first perfect game for the Giants franchise. It was the second perfect game thrown that season in 2012, believe it or not. And a couple of other fun facts about this perfect game. It was the second most run support anyone has received in a perfect game. It was a 10-0 win. And where's the other thing? Oh, before the game, Matt Cain and Dustin Johnson hit golf balls from home plate into McCovey Cove. That's what they were doing before the game. Yeah, they were just hanging out. And yeah, went out and tossed a perfect game. So, after question 3, your theme-linked answers are John Daly, Jason Tatum, and Matt Cain. And now we will be moving on to question 4 in the missing link. What shooting guard, dubbed Hillbilly Kobe, went undrafted in 2021 out of the University of Oklahoma? He averaged 23.3 points per game this season, and when he played for the U.S. national team in the FIBA World Cup in 2023, he was just the 3rd undrafted player to be named to a U.S. national team.
Check in.
What?
All right.
and
Post that in the chat first. Carolina Reapers have checked in immediately. Lactose tolerant, you have plenty of time to talk it out.
Okay. This is on the FIBA World Cup team, not
That's the team that finished 4th.
Not in the Olympics. Okay.
They
He averaged
lost to,
23-3 this season, like in the NBA, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Is what
Correct.
we're talking about.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I got that. Is this I don't think that Podziemski guy on the Warriors, is that who we're talking about? The average
Which guy?
guy, Brandon Podziemski or whatever. He's been brought up a lot on the podcast. He just sort of fits the mold of
Yeah.
I don't know it, but I'm not sure he's Hillbilly Kobe. Yeah, something like that. Oof. Well, falling far behind here. I'm just trying to think of anybody else.
I know.
Anybody else who might fit the Hillbilly Kobe kind of moniker?
So white guy that that likes to shoot and
We know it's not Denny Avdia. He wasn't on the
No.
U.S. team. Uh, just got to throw him in there. Very proud of my boy. So who else?
White undrafted guy who could shoot.
White undrafted guy who could shoot, and probably for a team that was not necessarily a playoff contender. The only guy I'm thinking about who can shoot is what's his name? Who's on the Thunder right now? Alex Caruso. Is that
I don't
bringing
think
anything
he scored
for you?
20 yet. He didn't average 23
And
points a
I
game.
also think he was on the Lakers in 2020, so like he'd be too old for that.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. He's been around a long time.
yeah, have to be a younger guy. All right, we're just gonna go with Brandon Podziemski and call it a day.
Yeah.
Okay. And Carolina Reapers, what did you guys come up with?
Yeah, I knew this one from the nickname just because I remember stupid nicknames, but pretty sure this is Austin Reeves.
Oh,
Oh God, yeah.
One team is receiving points. The correct answer is Austin Reeves. You guys were talking about the Lakers. You were right there. And I was like, come on. It's the white guy that was after Caruso. Yeah, Austin Reeves. Anybody want to guess? Again, it's not the Olympics, but it is U.S. national team for international competition. Anybody have a guess as who the other two were that have been on a national team that are undrafted? Interesting names. Two interesting names. They're definitely not stars by any means.
did we count the 3-on-3 with the?
No. This is
5-on-5 them, huh?
One of them has to be Ben Wallace.
correct. Ben Wallace is one. I'll let you know it's another big because this is a tough one. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I love that guy."
Give me a school.
The school is Purdue.
Oh, it's Brad Miller.
It is definitely Brad Miller.
Yeah.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, Brad Miller.
Wouldn't have gotten it without a hint. No way.
On the World Championship teams, the bronze medal winning U.S. Championship teams in Athens in 1998 and Japan in 2006. Let's just move straight on to question 5. After question 4, your theme linked answers are John Daly, Jason Tatum, Matt Cain, and Austin Reeves. Question 5 in the missing link. Who is the legendary head coach and president of basketball operations who has guided the Minnesota Lynx to 4 different WNBA championships since taking over the franchise in 2010?
We'll check in.
I had a feeling. I'm going to, once again, press enter so it's in the chat. Lactose tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you have plenty of time to talk it out.
Right. So stay with me here since no, we don't want to give away the theme because we don't know if they have it, but I think that this person's last name is Reeve. I can't think of who they are, but now that I'm realizing and I'm putting it all together with the theme, I think this person's last name is Reeve.
We can go with it.
All right.
I'm not going to come up with the first name.
Okay, good. We're going to check in with Reeve.
And lactose tolerant for the night. What did you guys have? Or Hugh? I know it's you, Hugh. So Hugh, what do you got?
First name Cheryl, last name Reeve.
Both teams are receiving points. The correct answer is Cheryl Reeve. Yeah, not much to say. The Lynx are a powerhouse that I only hope that the Storm can work their way back to. But for the second year in a row, we took a player who hasn't played a single second since they've been drafted. So I don't know what's going on.
And we have the rookie of the year.
Yeah. So your theme-linked answers are John Daly, Jason Tatum, Matt Cain, Austin Reeves, and Cheryl Reeve. Both teams have submitted a correct theme answer, and I will let Carolina Reaper their answer first. Let us know what their theme is.
Well, we were tossing and turning big time on this one. I can't remember what the order was. It started with John Daly, which gave us very little because we were trying to think of any actors or whatever. And then the next one what was number 2? Tatum. So then we were like, Jerry said to me, "Can you think of anything that Channing Tatum was in?" And then I said, "Wait a minute, is there any chance that Tim Daly?" Somewhere in here we said, "Is there any chance that Tim Daly played Superman at some point, thinking that that would be the obscure one because it was number one. So then when number three came along, and I already forgotten who that was. Who was number three?
Matt Cain.
Kane, right. So then it became real obvious because then it was Dean Kane. And then we were trying
It's
to figure out
gotta be Kane.
That's right. And then when we got to 4 and 5, we were trying to figure out who the obvious ones were. And I realized that when he did Reeves for number 4, I was like, oh, wait a minute. That still leaves open because it's George Reeves from the original television show, which, yes, I watched growing up. And then and then Christopher Reeve, who, of course, was the first big, sort of the big blockbuster Superman starting in about 78 or 79, maybe. But yeah, with Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. So it was people who played Superman.
That is correct. They submitted after question 3. Lactose tolerant for the night. You got there after while you were answering question 4. But yes, that is the correct answer. So again, I didn't write this, and I had already decided on my halftime, so this kind of rolled right in. I was like,
sure
a
did.
superhero theme. How lovely. So great job. And I love that it's I wonder if Tim Daly played Superman at any point. I only know, because of my age range, I only know Tim Daly as Superman, as the voice of Superman in
The animated series.
In Justice League, the animated series. Yeah, he's just, when I read it on the page, that's who I hear in my head is Tim Daly.
You don't think of Channing Tatum as Superman, though?
When did
do
Channing
not.
Tatum? What is that?
That is the
Lego
good
movie, the Lego movie?
call. That is the Lego movie. Channing Tatum was
So
Superman.
words couldn't fit corn sweat into the.
We could not fit
You
corn
mentioned
sweat
Welling
or
in
Routh.
halftime. Yeah.
couldn't come up with a Routh or a
David
corn
typed
sweat.
in Routh, and I was like, I can't place a Routh.
No, not at all.
So I'm going to assume, with the possible exception of Hugh, that people don't. To me, Tim Daly is the guy from Wings, the '90s,
Which is
NBC
amazing.
show,
Wings.
which was, by the way, was an early Tony Shalhoub.
And nobody mentioned Henry Cavill this whole time. He's so
well, that's good.
disrespectful.
We were going through that.
It
We were
was
trying to
in
think of
the
anybody
chat
with the name
too. I said, I
Cavill.
don't know anyone named Cavill either.
Yeah, there were more prominent Superman actors, but they didn't really correlate with,
That's
with an
right.
athlete. So
That's right.
yes.
Yes.
All right, great
Hold on.
job.
That was a good one, Marcus.
And Madam Secretary too. Another Tim Daly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course.
So you can thank Dave Wertz for that one. The scores have changed, or the scores have changed. The team that is leading has not changed. So we're just going to go straight to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that the teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
Your categories for the fourth quarter are first time, long time, which is in the World Cup.
Ooh.
The quarter in the NFL. Robots in Major League Baseball. And how old in the WNBA. And now it is time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the show called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and interact with the rest of the Benchwarmers community. If you would be able to rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, or any other podcast app, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question 1 in the fourth quarter, which is first time, long time. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will be co-hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. As host nations, all 3 are automatically qualified. 4 countries, however, are making their World Cup debut. And I want you to name 2 of the 4. That's it. Just got to know the field. Name 2 of the 4 countries making their debut in this year's World Cup.
All right, we'll check in.
The Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose tolerant for the night. You guys can talk it out.
Hugh, we're just like really just going around the globe here. This is like Geosports. Shout out. We need to do some of that. I thought one was a North African country.
That's what I typed in Mali.
Mali's kind of central, yeah, Central Africa. I thought there was something like Eritrea or Ethiopia.
You know what? It might be Eritrea.
Yeah. All right.
On
So
the
let's take
horn.
let's try Eritrea. And then maybe a Pacific Island country, something like that.
Yeah, there was.
Like Kitavis or something, or
It's not Tuvalu.
oh wait, man, which one did you just say? Tuvalu?
Tuvalu?
Yeah. That's so tiny. I mean, some of these they're all tiny, but
All those oceanic countries.
like, do they really have
Australia
a team?
plays with Africa though now.
Is there another Asian country that might be
Because
represented?
I know Oceania got a whole team. They didn't have to. The winner of the Oceania group went to the World Cup instead of having to play in a playoff.
Is it possibly like the Philippines? Have they ever been in it before? And might this be the time that they're making it for the first time?
Let's just,
All
why
right,
not?
we're gonna go with the Philippines and Eritrea. If we're right, then
For a big
that's
10
points for us. Yeah.
All right. And the Carolina Reapers, what did you guys have? And tell me what your wager is.
Well, I contributed nothing to this.
So I remember hearing at some point that Jordan was in for the first time. So that was our first answer. And then I remember that one of the guys on my group at work who lives in Warsaw is from Uzbekistan. And I was talking about this because I'm pretty sure Uzbekistan is making it for the first time. So we checked in with Uzbekistan. Shout out Beck. Yes, his name is Beck and he's from Uzbekistan. And I'm sure he listens to the podcast all the time. So Uzbekistan and Jordan for 100 points.
One team is receiving points. The correct answers are Cape Verde,
Oh, wow.
Curacao,
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Jordan, and Uzbekistan. These are, I mean, this is like, this is kind of monumental. For Uzbekistan, shout out to your, this is your coworker.
Yeah, yeah.
Uzbekistan is the first Central Asian nation, as well as the third former Soviet republic to qualify for the World Cup. Jordan, when they qualified with a 3-0 victory, they qualified after a 3-0 victory over Oman. And then Curacao. Curacao is now the smallest nation by both population and area to qualify for the FIFA World Cup because they broke the record by Cape Verde that did it 5 weeks before that.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yes, those.
I didn't even know Mexico and Canada were in it. So,
yeah. To be honest, I thought we until I started doing research for this. This is how ignorant I am. I didn't know that any other country besides us were hosting games, so I was just like, "Oh, that makes sense."
I knew all three were hosting, but then I knew that
I
they
didn't.
have to go and remove like all the logos and stuff off the stadiums and take off sponsor names and.
Oh yeah, and all
Right.
the NFL players are pissed because they're putting in brand new grass, and now every
And they'll take
NFL
it
player
off.
wants grass. Yeah,
Take it
they're
right out.
pissed. So, all right, the scores have changed, but we're gonna move right on to question 2, the quarter. In Super Bowl 22, led by MVP Doug Williams, the Washington Redacted beat the Denver Broncos 42-10, in large part to their record-setting second quarter. They scored 35 points after trailing 10-0 and scored all of those points in just 18 offensive plays. 4 different players scored those 5 touchdowns in the quarter. I want you to name 2 of the 4. Oh yeah, baby. Bomback loves this. When I saw Josh, when I saw who was playing initially, I was like, oh, Bomback's going to be so pissed. I mean, I didn't ask for all 4, but I mean, still, he doesn't love it when we do a lot of these, but I love it.
All right, we're gonna check in, Marcus.
All right. Lactose tolerant for the night
I knew the first one right away.
has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you guys can talk it out.
I remember watching this game because it was in my dorm freshman year of college because it was 1988.
I just looked at my mom, who's in my living room. I was like, "You're a Washington fan. Do you remember when they won?"
So funny.
That's amazing.
She was like, it was a long time ago. No, I don't.
Uh,
Hi,
Ricky,
Mom.
Ricky Sanders is one of them for sure. There was a guy named something Smith, and I can't place him. Something generic sounding. Bobby, Billy, Jimmy, Tommy,
Lucky.
Lucky Smith. Yeah. So we could probably get away with this. We could just check in with Ricky Sanders and Smith. I think Gary Clark was one of them, but I'm pretty confident if you're okay, I can go Sanders Smith and be done with it.
That works for me.
Okay, Sanders and Smith and be done with it. 100 points.
All right. And lactose tolerant for the night. What did you guys come up with?
Same ones. Yep. Go ahead, Hugh.
Timmy Smith.
Timmy. I was right
Timmy
there.
Timmy.
Timmy.
And that was it. I mean, that was the only game he ever had.
He set
He
the
was-
record for
he
rushing
was,
yards in Super Bowl,
He was
didn't he?
filling in.
Yep.
All right. Both teams are receiving points. The two of the correct answers are Ricky Sanders and Timmy Smith. And you're correct, Josh. He has set the record that still hasn't been broken for rushing yards in a single game. And that's pretty much all he did. Lots of injuries. First of all, he demanded a new contract after that. And they were like, all right, man, sure. Show us something first. And then he got hurt and just never really got back. I mean, that was his one moment. And then the other two, David Lux had one of them. Gary Clark did, in fact, catch a 27-yard touchdown pass. And the fourth guy to catch one in the second quarter was tight end Clint Didier.
Oh wow.
That's the one that I didn't think anybody would get.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So asking for all four seemed kind of crazy.
No, that would
That's
be
even worse than Gary Barnage.
Yeah, Clint Didier.
I was 5 months old when that game was played.
Wait, let's see.
That sounds like a porn name if I've ever heard one. Clint
January
Didier.
88 or maybe February of
1988,
88 for sure.
My mom was 3 months pregnant with me. So
Wow.
yeah. So in this second quarter, this is amazing. Just in the second quarter, Doug Williams was 9 of 11 for 228 yards and 4 touchdowns. Timmy Smith rushed 5 times for 122 yards and a touchdown. And Ricky Sanders caught 5 passes for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns.
It was crazy. That was an
They each had a
unbelievable
good
game to
game in the second quarter.
Yeah,
Was
they all
anybody
had
on the field for the defense?
I mean, it was really bad.
Did
And,
they record a tackle?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
18
that's a good
plays,
question.
18 offensive plays. So this is one of the NFL films that I had, and there was a whole section of this dedicated to the quarter, and it is like, no, Ricky Sanders legit is running there with nobody around him. Gary Clark made a nice catch, and Timmy Smith busted 2 long runs, but like, yeah, it was bad. It was about as bad defensive football as you're ever going to see. So
And it was
great
the
job.
LA Broncos team. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Those LA teams before he got there were
Yeah.
so good and just
Yeah.
got absolutely boat raced in the Super Bowls. All right. Both teams have gotten the answers correct. Let's move on to question 3 because we don't need to talk about the scores. Question 3 in robots. Starting this season, the MLB has introduced the automated ball strike system in regular season play. On opening day, who became the first player to challenge using the ABS system? The utility man is currently on his 3rd team in 3 seasons and has led the American League in stolen bases in each of the past 2 seasons. He lost that challenge in the 4th inning, resulting in an upheld strike call, and the helmet that he tapped with is now in Cooperstown in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you're
Good
kidding me.
God.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but I had to put it in there because
No.
we
It's a
can
cool
all
fact.
agree.
It's a cool fact. I
Yeah.
We
just
can
think
all
it's
agree that that's absurd.
I got it. We'll check in. Oof.
All right. Carolina Reapers have checked in. Lactose tolerant for the night. You guys can talk it out.
Okay, Hughes. You said the season started with a solo game. I think you're
Yeah.
right. The Yankees, I don't remember who else was in that game, but I'm not sure that a call was challenged in that game. When you say opening day, I would think meaning like the traditional opening.
I would have remembered a challenge in that Orioles Twins game though. So what he thought was an Oriole, but I don't think it was.
Okay. Any in on a base stealer in the AL who's moved to
I don't know who the stolen bases of the last years.
3 different teams, right? Like third
Yeah.
team in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
The only guy I'm thinking of that, no, he's on the Giants now, is what's his name, who only hits singles.
Yeah, it
He's
could.
on base.
So yeah, could be in the NL too now. So
That's true. But a utility man, like somebody who's the only, like, you have any names to pull here?
no,
I don't know. The guy I'm like thinking of, just somebody who was on the Orioles who was traded. And this is a shot.
well,
in the
could have
dark.
been an Oriole last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's his name? Laureano. Ramon Laureano.
Oh.
That could be totally wrong, but I know he got traded to Padres or something like that. But that was mid-year last year, so I don't think he would have led the AL if he changed leagues midway through the year. And I just don't think he was a base stealer anyway. Any other player who has a Superman last name?
What's what wrong with
I don't know. Kal-El Bizarro. That's what we're going with. We got nothing.
Is that your check?
That's our answer.
All right.
Lucky Johnson.
Do you want to throw in a Lucky Johnson? Sure, Johnson it is. Johnson.
All right. Lucky Johnson 4.
Bleh. I don't know.
For 80.
80 points.
Okay. And Carolina Reapers. Seemed like you guys were getting somewhere. What did you guys come up with?
Well, I said I'm pretty sure I could picture this guy. He's got a Latino sounding name. And then Jerry, it's like when I said it was a white guy before. So Jerry came back with Jose, and I said, that's it. It's Jose Caballero, which of course made me think of the old Disney movie with Donald Duck. But yeah, it's Jose Caballero, pretty sure.
One team is receiving points. The correct answer is Jose Caballero.
To be fair, Kal-El Bizarro doesn't sound so far off from Caballero.
You said Kal-El Bizarro, and I was like, just take a couple of letters off. You might be all right. That is the correct answer. Mariners legend Jose Caballero.
But Josh, you might remember the third game of the season when Derek Shelton was thrown out of the game, thinking that the pitcher for Baltimore did not challenge in time.
That's correct. That's what I was thinking of you. Yeah.
Yes. So again, 4th inning, challenged a strike call. It was upheld. And then the following day, on everybody else's opening day, because you were right, it was the standalone game. Francisco Alvarez of the New York Mets made the first successful challenge, where he challenged a ball, and it ended up striking out O'Neal Cruz. So that was the first
I knew I was
overturn.
going to end up in the Hall of Fame for that. I'd have challenged the very first pitch of the game.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, they're going to take my stuff. Like,
Heck
that
yeah.
was terrible. Let's move right on to question 4 in the 4th quarter in how old? This is where it goes off the rails. You guys are going to hate this. It's amazing. Lots of words. The inaugural 1997 WNBA draft had 3 different stages in order for the league to fill out their rosters. There's the initial player allocation, the elite draft consisting of pro players from international leagues, and then the rookie draft. Who is the oldest player drafted in WNBA history? She was selected first overall in the elite draft, technically making her the first ever WNBA draft pick. She played 7 seasons internationally prior to this, and in college was a 2-time national champion for Tennessee in '89 and 1991, as well as being the SEC Player of the Year in 1992.
We'll check in.
All right. For the last time, lactose tolerant for the night has checked in. Carolina Reapers, you can briefly talk it out.
Well, as my friend Taco said, I've never once said, not that long ago, I've never had less on a 4th quarter question. So my friend Jerry here is suggesting we go with Lucky Miller. So
Maybe
we're going to check.
Cheryl and Reggie had another sister.
That's right. Why not? Although wouldn't have gotten out of California, but that's all good. We're going to check in with Miller for 100 big points that we're ready to lose.
Okay. And lactose tolerant for the night. What did you guys come up with?
Just went with a player that we knew went to Tennessee. That's it. We're probably the timeline doesn't line up, but we just went with Shamika Holtzclaw.
That's
Yeah.
been in my head the whole time, but I was like, it's definitely not right.
Neither team is receiving points.
Shocker.
I did not expect anybody to get this. The correct answer is Dina Head.
What?
Who?
Who?
And not to go give Bob back more money.
You are going to have to go give her more money.
Maybe
Dina
the
Head was
category should have
selected
been
by the
who.
Utah Stars. Like I said, national champion in 89 and 91. 1992 Kodak All-America team. She's not recognized on her thing as necessarily.
Polaroid.
Oh, no, wait. Never mind. United States Basketball Writers Association All-American in 1992. SEC Player of the Year. And yeah, she played for the national team a little bit, and then obviously there wasn't a league, so she played in Brazil and Europe. She played in France, Spain, and Italy. And yeah, in that first part of the draft. So the player allocation thing, this is what I wanted to get to. The player allocation were just 16 players that were at random given to teams. That included Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper going to the Houston Comets.
That's awesome.
This was just at complete random. Lisa
Swoops or
Leslie,
Scoops?
Rebecca Lobo, Teresa Witherspoon. Like, these are big names that were all just randomly handed out. And then they did the elite draft of pro players who mostly were from other countries. And then the college draft, which Tina Thompson was the first pick.
I'm going to say that random, maybe somebody paid for those players. I mean, right? Like, what happened? How were they in that pool, and the other players weren't?
The way the envelope was just randomly picked with for Patrick Ewing by David
So,
Stern.
Hugh, are you saying you're a subscriber to the frozen envelope theory?
Yeah, or the way, Jerry, that the Pacers didn't get a draft pick here.
Oh my god! One of
You
the
know what?
worst trades
I'm going to
ever.
burn a question here because it's another one that nobody's going to guess. Does anybody know the answer of the only player in this draft that didn't play an actual game?
In which draft? In which draft?
The 1997 WNBA draft. There's only one player who never actually played.
What would be the
Mark Summit.
circumstance?
I don't know.
Hang on a second. Let me think about that. I mean, why would somebody have been drafted?
Cheryl Miller.
No.
When-
No, shit. They probably should have drafted Cheryl Miller just to say thank you.
Exactly.
Dawn Staley. I don't know.
No. Her name's
Charlotte Sting.
Her name is Raquel Spurlock. Was in the
What?
third round of the college draft, and she's apparently the only one who was selected in the draft that did not play.
And what happened? She got hurt?
No idea. She doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. It just says center for the Houston Comets from Louisiana Tech, never played. Everybody else played. Everybody else has a Wikipedia page except for her.
Maybe she married that Super Size Me guy. Maybe also Spurlock,
Maybe they
right?
should send out a search party.
All right.
Well, if it
We
makes
did
you
it,
feel any better,
guys.
wait, hang on a second. If it makes you feel any better,
Oh.
she does have a Facebook page, even though she doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Should we start sending her messages like, "Oh, we're huge fans."
Exactly.
All
Come
right.
on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Raquel, we would love
First
to
ever
have you on the
WNBA
podcast.
player.
Yes. I would formally like to invite Kelsey Plum to please come on the podcast. I would love to write a game for you or do anything for you that you would ask of me. Anyways. All right. Lactose tolerant for the night finishes with a score of 200 points. And our clipboard
Hey,
captains of the game. Our clipboard captains of the game receiving the prestigious Tyson Bajan Award is Carolina Reapers. Hooray! You guys did it.
At least we didn't fall below the Mendoza line.
You didn't. You guys are still, you know what? You could start for the Seattle Mariners. You could. Thank you guys for playing. Like I said, I was a late sub. Shout out Dave again for writing half of this game. We kind of split it in half, and it was I really appreciated the help. Hugh, let's start with you. Is there anything you would like to say before we get out of here?
Well, I haven't done enough training yet, so it's gonna be nice out this weekend. So if you see me on my bike in the Twin Cities, don't run me over.
I thought you were
Don't
talking
run
about.
Hugh over.
I thought you were talking about training for the podcast. But you could do both at the same time. You could go out for long bike rides, just listening to episode after episode of the podcast.
Yeah. So don't hit Hugh on his bike. Go to the bench. Hugh posted a link. Support him on his bike ride. It's a really great cause and it's awesome. So please go do that. And Jerry, anything else you would like to say before we get out of here? Screw you, allergies. We hate you.
Yes, definitely. Just another great game. I enjoyed it again. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely. David and Josh, I assume you guys don't have any last words. All right. Well, for Hugh and Jerry and Josh and David, my name is Marcus, and this has been the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes.
The pitch from Matt Silvano. A drive deep to right field. Down the line. The Mariners win this game 2-1. The dream lives. They're going to the playoffs. The drought is over. Cal Raleigh. Wow. Hey now.
Want more trivia? Follow us at Benchwarmers TP on all social platforms for more sports facts and trivia. That's at Benchwarmers TP.